It's 9 a.m. on Wednesday, July 31st. I'll go ahead and call the meeting of the Logansport Board of Public Works and Safety to order. Please join me in reciting the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call, please.
Mayor Franklin?
Here.
Chris Armstrong?
Here.
Approval minutes, July 24th, 2013.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 24th, 2013.
I've also read the minutes and agree with them, so it's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 2-0. Approval of claims in the amount of $511,654.22. I've reviewed the claims. Everything appears to be in order. Understand them correctly. I would make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes on a vote of 2-0. There are no licenses for consideration. Are there any visitor comments? Hearing no visitor comments, there's no old business. Under new business, we have a request from Joe Dykeman representing Dykeman Excavating for requesting a street closure. And that would be Front Street between Plum Street and Wheatland Avenue. The request is for closure from Wednesday, July 31st through Friday, August 2nd to install underground drainage pipe. Street Commissioner, are you on board with that?
Yes, sir, I am. He notified me last week, and we have made all the notifications of everybody. Okay.
Notified police and fire as well?
Police and fire and ambulance, yes, sir.
I'd make a motion that we approve the request for closure of Front Street between Plum and Wheatland for 3 days beginning today and ending on August 2nd.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes on a vote of 2-0. Next, we have the request from the Chief of Police for approval of the retirement of Patrolman Bob Vernon. Bob was hired on the Logansport Police Department in May of 1986, so he's got 27 years in. He worked for the Adult and Juvenile Detective Divisions and most recently assigned to the Patrol Division. I understand Bob has taken a new job as the County Health Inspector. Is that right? I wish him all the luck in the world. He's a really good guy. He was an asset to the city. Anybody that knows Bob knows that he's a volunteer on just about everything that goes on when it comes to the arts or the Shrine Club, some of those other agencies and organizations that he's involved with. He's a volunteer and a good guy, and I wish him all the luck in the world. And I would make the motion that we approve the retirement of Patrolman Robert A. Vernon.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any other questions, any suggestions? Chief, you have anything you'd like to add?
No,
okay.
Other than to reiterate what you said earlier. His last day, just for the record, will be August 9th. He's currently on vacation, not vacation time.
Okay. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 2-0. We also have a street closure request from the Cass County Arts Alliance. This would be to host the street closure for Art on the Avenue, and that would be on September 13th through September 16th. The streets to be closed. I'm looking on here. They provided a certificate of liability insurance. And it's also Melbourne Avenue and the area around the depot as usual. That's a standard request that comes before us every year. Dan Williams, Superintendent of Public Works, has signed off. Mike Clark, Chief of Police, has okayed. Mark Strong has okayed. So I think that's everything that we request. I would make the motion that we approve the street closure on Melbourne Avenue for the dates to be closed at September 13th at 8 a.m. and to reopen on September 16th at 4 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes on a vote of 2-0. I'm going to allow Chris to explain the next one. We have a contract with DLZ Indiana LLC for Safe Routes to School.
We received a grant for Safe Routes to School through NDOT, and this is our contract for DLZ to actually come in and do the work, and we just need to approve it.
Preliminary statement of probable construction cost is $145,250. And do you know how much of this the city has to pay?
Nothing.
Zero. So we got $145,000.
Yes.
Your usual good work, Chris. I thank you for that. We have a motion. Did you make a motion?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the contract with DLZ and the city.
And I'll second that motion. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 2-0. Under reports, Building Commissioner's report. Hi, Bill.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I had submitted my report for your review. If you have any questions for that report, I'm open to take those questions. As you're looking, the ongoing business we have at 208 South 6th Street, we are still working with the property owners, moving forward with a joint agreement on how to facilitate the building remediation in that block. It looks like we are going to possibly have an agreed plan by all property owners. I should say 210 South 6th Street and 214 South 6th Street property owners. 208 South 6th Street is still not responding to any request for information.
Okay. I would make the motion that we approve the building department report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It passes on a vote of 2-0. Next we have the Code Enforcement Officer's weekly report. It's been submitted. Code Enforcement Officer could not be here today. He's been busy again. 7 trash violations issued in the last week. 10 trash violations were cleared. One of them with the help of the Department of Public Works. Weeds and mowing, 6 notices were sent out. 4 of those were cleared by the property owner, 5 mowed by the city. So we had some hanging in the balance. And notice to appear, we have 2 notices. No, I'm sorry. We have 1 notice to appear, 1527 George Street. Is anybody here? If you would, please come forward. You have the file. Thanks for being here. If you would you can sit down, pull the microphone closer to you. It's sometimes hard to hear. Can you state your name and address for the record?
Scott Clenny, 1527 George Street.
Scott Clenny? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Scott. I'm looking here. There is a 2 correspondence that's been sent. The first on July 2nd, and then again on July 17th, notifying you of trash and debris all over the yard. As I look through this, please bear with me. You may or may not be aware of the city ordinances now that they've been on the books for quite some time, and it's the code enforcement officer's job to handle complaints when they come in, and that is how this thing began, with a complaint. So I have the file here. There's Now, there's quite a bit of stuff there. It looks like it's in a state of disrepair. I note that on July 2nd, you received the first notice, and as of yesterday afternoon, there had not been very much progress. Do you intend to clean it up?
Yeah.
Okay. How much more time do you need? You've had 30 days, well, 29 days right now. Another 30 days enough?
My attorney talked to Randy Head.
Your attorney may have talked to Randy, but I'm not sure he considers himself your attorney yet. I did talk to Randy. Randy gave me a little bit of a follow-up on this. If we give you another 30 days, whether your attorney's involved or not, can you have this cleaned up within another 30 days?
If I can get till October 31st, I'll even take down
No.
the privacy fence so you won't have to worry about it again.
This has been July 2nd.
I'm going to tell
July,
you what.
let's see, July, August, September, October. That's 4 months.
I was told to keep my mouth shut,
Okay.
but I was lied to. I have been through a bunch of administrations,
Uh-huh.
more code enforcement officers than I can remember, and I've never been lied to by one. Your brother lied to me.
Well,
I'm not very happy about that.
well, I'm not sure. He's not here to.
I know.
He's not here to defend his case, but regardless of any communication that's taken place through you, your attorney to the city attorney, or you to the code enforcement officer, I look at these photographs and...
I would really like to see that. And
Yeah, please.
one thing that I really desperately need from you all is a detailed list of what I can and cannot have. Just because there's some old biddy next door that don't like me, I don't want to be treated I know that. I know. I don't want to be treated unfairly. If Joe Blow's got a riding lawnmower in his yard, why can't I have one in mine? If my neighbor's got a...
Photographs accurately portray your yard now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's in clear violation.
Right.
You wanted to see-
Well, see, I thought the privacy fence took care of that.
No, the privacy fence does not.
I don't know, it always has. I don't know when that didn't. Because the front of my house looks good, the back of my house looks good, inside there, you know. I go to auctions all the time. I don't drink, I don't go to bars, I don't do any of that crap. I go to auctions and I socialize. While I'm there, I buy junk. When I
Okay.
get enough junk, I cash it in so I can go to another auction and socialize some more.
Okay. The first letter went out July 2nd.
I was here July 3rd. The second letter went out the 17th or the 16th. I was here the very next morning.
Uh-huh. So both of those, we're willing to work with anybody who's showing an effort.
I tell you, your brother give me till the 13th of next month. Next month. And we're
Okay,
here
that's
already.
6 weeks.
I'm telling you.
The
he give
13th of August would be 6
That's
weeks.
what he give me.
Okay.
He come up there and apparently he got mad because he said I didn't do anything. That's what he told my attorney.
Yeah.
I hauled away $760-some because I paid off a credit card, which was $710 out of there. I got sick. I got real sick. This is the first time in 3 years I've missed work, and I missed a week and a half of work. My stepdaughter's wedding, that took a week. I just got back from there.
Sure.
I was the one to
Scott,
give it away.
we're willing to work with you.
I don't have a
What I'm
problem.
looking for is a commitment that you're going to clean it up.
I was so pissed off because I've never been lied to. I can't believe it. I've known
I don't know.
George-
I wasn't there. I just
I've
want,
known George for a
I
long
want to
time.
I want to stick to this. If I can get a commitment from you that you're planning to clean this up within the next 30 days, we're willing to work with you. We will work and have
Just like
always
I-
worked with everybody that makes an attempt, that makes an effort to clean this up.
Just like I told him, I won't have it cleaned up by in 30 days, but I'll have a damn good start. That's exactly what I told him.
Well, I think that's an incremental step. Why don't we have you back in 30 days?
Oh, no, I can't. Just have
Okay.
him come up there and look at it. If there's a problem, send me a letter and I'll come back.
Okay.
I'd work
Today
37
is-
straight hours just so I could be here
Today
on
is
time.
July
today.
31st. I'm going to,
Make it like 6 weeks would be great.
Today is July 31st. If we have you back here on July 28th to review, that will be
6 weeks would be awesome.
That will be 2 months since the first letter went out, July 2nd.
Well, I didn't do anything because I'm pissed. You know, it's like, I'll get an attorney. And I'll tell you why the attorney threw me out of his office, but you guys would probably laugh.
I make the motion that we continue this until August 28th, at which time we will review,
You
and we'll
guys
see what the
could go-
progress is at that point in time.
If you guys could go into September, it'd be great. It would work out really good.
September is going to be problematic for a number of different reasons. August 28th, we'll review it. If there's substantial progress on August 28th, we're likely to continue it again. If we don't see any progress, then we're likely to go clean it up.
No, the progress ain't. If George wouldn't have lied to me, I'd have did something. I would have paid somebody to do something. Money's not an issue. I would have paid somebody to do something.
The issue is, on August 28th, will there be substantial progress in cleaning up your property?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll see you on August 28th.
The
If it's
reason-
cleaned up, you'll
It won't
receive
be.
notice
It
that you
won't
don't
be
have
cleaned
to
up.
appear.
I need from you guys, before I even start, exactly what I can and cannot have.
Okay, we'll get you a copy of
do
the,
not
we'll get you a
want-
copy of the property maintenance ordinance.
Yeah, I don't want somebody on the other side of town that's never been turned in by somebody who don't like them. I don't want them having something that I can't have. You know, and I
Okay.
don't.
We
want-
will get you a copy of that. I made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I
It's been
don't.
moved and properly seconded to extend this property cleanup order until August 28th, at which time we will review it. If there's been substantial progress, you're likely to have another extension. As long as we're seeing progress, we will work with you. If no progress, we are likely to clean it up at that time. And in the meantime, I will make sure that you get a copy of the property maintenance ordinance that spells out and describes
Detail.
everything that's
Detail.
required. Yeah, you will get a copy of the ordinance.
Because I can, like, right now, you can look through them pictures, and you can look from my yard and other people's yard who's got the same thing that I do.
Well,
Maybe not as much.
Yeah.
But-
First of all, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any
So that means
objections?
shut up and get the hell out of here?
No, not yet. Just work with me here for just a second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It passes on a vote of 2-0.
See, without an attorney, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
No, not
That's
at all.
why I need till
No,
September.
with all due respect, it's not like we're dropping the hammer on you today. We're giving you another 30 days. We're not going to send anybody over there today to clean up the property, and that's going to cost you a lot of money. And we've already given you 29 days. So, if...
It would have been done if I wouldn't have been lied to, I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Um,
Nobody. everybody
Violations,
did 20
year-to-date violations, 426. There's no way that you're the only one that's being picked on. 426
Oh, no,
so
it's not.
far this year inside the city limits.
It's not that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if somebody else has got it, I want to be able to have it too. Is that what you're talking about?
We're working on it. That's what I'm saying, Scott. With all due respect to you, we have had
Well,
426 violations similar to yours, some worse, some less.
Right.
But we've had 426 this year. 426. And all that does is cost all of us money because we have to stop what our true focus should be to encourage people to take care of their properties. If I lived, I wouldn't want to live next door to that. I'll tell you that right now. Wouldn't like that at all.
You can't even see it. It's behind a privacy fence.
Okay.
You wouldn't know it. If my neighbors told me that I know who it was turned me in. My neighbors told me that after she turned me in, like 3 or 4 days later, they seen her walking around the fence, going over there looking inside my fence to
Yeah.
see whether I've done anything.
And I have no knowledge of that.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay, I would also make a motion to approve the code enforcement officer's report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 2-0. Thank you. We'll see you back here on the 28th.
Now let's get that.
Okay. Superintendent of Public Works.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dan.
I respectfully submit my report for the Public Works Department for the City of Logansport. If you have time, you may please thumb through it, and I'll answer any questions at this time. While you're going through that, the next 2 weeks, we're going to vigorously start our annual blacktopping, milling, and paving for the city, so I would ask that people be patient with us, and when they see our workers out, give them some courtesy, because they do a very good job and they deserve a lot of courtesy. So the next 2 weeks we're going to be blocking different streets off. We will let people know ahead of time what streets will be closed, and we will try our 100% not to inconvenience anyone.
I do notice progress on the sidewalk up on top of College
Yes.
Hill. I have to thank you for that myself. I live in that area, and I see oftentimes even children walking in the street because the area where the sidewalk should be is overgrown with foliage, different types, and it's going to be quite a safety improvement for that area up there. I appreciate all the hard work. I saw two of your guys, I think it was maybe Gary Myers and Randy Landis, on one of the hot days there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure they would have preferred to be someplace else, but they were there doing their job, and I appreciate it and pass that along to them.
I'll certainly do that, and along the same lines as that was scheduled today, and then we had rain, so hopefully Thursday or Friday, weather permitting. And while I have been there working, I have had like 6 people stop and tell me to pass it on to you that they can't believe that there's never a sidewalk there, and they're very happy that we're addressing that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I would make the motion to approve the report that was provided by the Superintendent of Public Works.
Second?
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass it on a vote of 2 to
Thank
nothing.
you.
Thank you. We have to do that for the record. We have to verbally or verbalize our vote. Sounds a little bit awkward, but that's what we have to do. Under the Chief's report, Chief of Police.
I don't have a formal report, but I just would like to bring up to the board for the record that Seth Barton, there was a contingency on his approval, which was granted. Later that day, I received the proper notification. Everything worked out. He was sworn in, and he started the academy. So I'd just like to bring that up. And other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. I make the motion we approve the Chief's report as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed on a vote of 2 to nothing. Fire Chief is not here today. He is excused. I did speak to him. Are there any board member comments?
None.
Miscellaneous business, including ADA Section 504 compliance and concerns, and any other matters not already considered. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second? Oh, motion to adjourn.
Second.